Hey guys, good morning. Wanted to bring you a new video on something a little bit different. I wanted to take you through a walkthrough of this craziness right here and why it's circled and what we're going to do about it. All right guys, so this particular AMG GLB 35 came to us yesterday for client had just purchased it. It is a 23-year model. They wanted to do a full blackout window tint, windshield, all windows. Once I got it clean, I discovered all of this craziness. Now, at a glance, you really don't see it, but the car sits really low. I noticed when I pulled it in, I have a small curb right here and then an even smaller curb pulling in here. There's something definitely wrong with the suspension. That was a big red flag to me. But then once I started to look the car over, I noticed a lot of key things that stuck out pretty big. So if you look here, there's a pretty large size dent and scratch. Another dent, and then once we do some more investigative work, we notice that the trim is not lined up properly, and then we have scuffs. The whole trim is scuffed up really bad. It gets worse over here, and then we're fully broken open right here. We're hanging on by dear life from the factory 3M tape on the back. We have another dent here. And let me walk you through this craziness of this door right here. So this door has been repainted. How do I know that? Well, this is the first time for me here. Do you notice anything on this pillar? That's weird. Well, that is the metallic that's underneath the black. That metallic runs the length of this inner pillar, and they just decided to paint over the VIN also. So this bracket and bolt, all this has got metallic paint all over it. And then inside the door, all on the inside of the door. So once I saw that, I started to really look over the actual door. And if you can catch it, let's see if I can catch it just right. This top section up here, there it is. That is what we call orange peel. And of course, all cars are going to have some type of orange peel, but when it is this heavy, it's just a poor paint job. So as we go down, as you can see right here, this haze that I highlighted with the big circle, this is rotary wool pad haze, where they didn't buff the top. They just buffed this circle, and a smaller circle. That's all they buffed. These edges, I marked with this big line because this is where they just didn't bother to sand properly because it's heavy orange peel. As you can see right here, look at the car in the background. Look how heavy the orange peel is there. It's called orange peel because it looks like a skin of an orange. Look how heavy that is. And then as we go up, that's weird. What is that? Well, that's a wet sanding mark where they sanded it, but then they just left the sanding mark. This is your driver's side door. Then we go down here. We actually have a run or a crack already in the paint. And if you look down there, look how thick the orange peel is. And if you see these see those slight waves right here? That is where they sanded it by hand or by a block, and they left the ridges of the sanding in there. Just bad body work. As you can see, those are the big rotary marks that are in the middle of the door. These are called pigtails because the machine is spinning so fast and the pad is so coarse, it will leave these slight little tick marks, it will make like a C. They call it a pigtail. That is all throughout your door right there. So it just looks like a cloudy haze. Each one of these little circles is actual defect. See those? That is either debris, water, or solvent pop that occurred during painting. And look, I was easy on them because there's hundreds more up here that I didn't circle. But just to give you a general idea, I mean, look at this. See this orange peel right in here? This, sound like Doug DeMuro, this is the overspray of the metallic. And you can see the tape line that they left where this was taped off, but somehow it blew through here at some point. How do I know that this was worked on with a machine? There is a large white polishing mark right here and debris down the edge. What you've seen in videos that we do, we tape off all these plastics because if we touch it with compound, it will turn white like this is. Trim is busted. They improperly put this trim piece back on. They put the piece that was wrecked on instead of putting new. And just a bad either epoxy or 3M tape that they used on the back of it. Or they just might have just reused the other one. So then we go up. We got touch-up paint, bad job here. Scuff. Dent, scratch. Dent, scratch. Big scuff. This is your driver's side of your used car, new car purchase. Then we go around. Scuff on the back. Bumper got hit. Bumper got hit. Bumper got hit. Scuff marks, normal. Same scuffs. Dent scuff. We definitely hit something here. It's obviously dented in. Dented in. Scratched. Dented in, touched up. Very large scratch marks. Scuff mark. Blatantly obvious large dents on this door. B-pillar. Scratched up like crazy. On this body line here, something was damaged and we can see that it is creased right here and dented in. Then we have the trim piece that's not even 3M'd on. The clips don't clip in. Not stuck on. Not lined up in the front. Look how easy that pops out. Wet sanding marks to remove debris and scratches that they just left the wet sanding marks. Didn't even bother doing anything with. The paint is scuffed off of the edge of this hood from the either, heck, we're down to the metal. So this hood has probably been redone or they changed it out and it wasn't aligned correctly. And so when they opened it, it was scratching the inside of this. Absolutely insane. So needless to say, I contacted the client. I let them know what was going on with this car, I told them to immediately reach out to their salesperson at the dealership to see if they could resolve some of this and to see if there's enough time that either they could find them a new vehicle or do something to try to resolve this issue. What I've learned in this business is the dealerships, normally something like this extensive, they don't do it in-house. They'll third party it. And then this is what third party will give you. Quick, fast, in a hurry. How cheap can we do it? Most likely, I hope, what they will do is they will take this car back. They just purchased it last Wednesday. It had already had some strut issues and axle issues, which they didn't give them any paperwork or saying anything or a receipt of the work that they said that they did. Like I said, just driving it in 10 to 20 feet, it doesn't ride correctly. So something's definitely wrong there. But again, I hope the dealership does this person right and resolves this issue because this is just bad. And for the dealership, they can even fix this in-house because most dealerships have an allotted fund for rework when a used car comes in. Scratches that they can touch up. Most of these places have in-house body guys and paint and body. So they could easily fix this up, or they just send it through auction. They get bottom dollar for it. Car's gone. Problem's gone. I hope they do the right thing. This is just one of the many things that we do at the Detail Lab, that we go above and beyond for our clients because we want to make sure that your customer service experience is amazing, but also that we can help you out in instances like this. We ended up plotting the film that we didn't even get to use onto the car. Are we charging the client? Absolutely not. We want to be able to help them through this process the best that we can. And if you guys are looking for a new vehicle or a used vehicle and you want some help, contact us. We can assist in that situation. If you need me to come and look out at a vehicle that you're thinking about buying, I'm happy to do so. But thanks so much for watching this video, and we'll keep you updated. Thanks so much.